Good evening, Toronto. You're listening to Lovers Rotation here on CIUT 89.5 FM, the one and only sound of your city. Welcome back and welcome home to your new and improved soulful sanctuary. I know it seems like we're busybodies. We're always moving around, but we're really just trying to elevate and continue to uplift the spaces that we have for you guys. So welcome here with us at Sleepless Studios. Big shout out to them. Make sure you guys go check them out. Amazing spaces. But as you guys know, we got a lot to play and a lot to say. So we'll just jump right in. As you know, my name is Aisha and I'm your host tonight.
And it's your girl T, it's Tella.
And tonight we're joined by a repeat guest. He's our buddy now. He's our friend.
Yes,
he's our
sir.
bestie of the show.
Exactly.
I'm gang.
Gang of the show, if you
Yeah.
could say that.
Yeah.
And he was on the show about a year ago, but recently coming off the heels of the release of In My Own Skin, the EP, what a masterpiece. If you keep up with us, you know that we recently sat down with him at Studio Home last week to do a live interview and speak about the beautiful piece of work in front of a group of loved ones and listeners, and the energy was right. But I'll let him introduce himself as well.
What's up, everybody? It's JUIC3BOY over here on the Lovers Rotation once again, and I'm happy to speak with the ladies.
All right. You hear
Welcome
that,
back.
ladies?
Welcome
Well,
back.
I meant y'all, but hey, the ladies as well that are watching, for sure.
All right. Well, as you guys know, like I said, we got a lot to play, a lot to say. We're going to jump right into the first set of tracks. We're going to do Libéré. You see my little French accent? By Curtis, who is a hip-hop, R&B, rap artist coming out of France. Very good, soft, sweet sounds. It's going to make you want to dance. And as you guys know, we got JUIC3BOY, who's Mr. Francophone himself here. So you're going to hear a lot of sweet
I gotta
French.
get my France citizenship by now, you know.
Soon. After this, they're definitely going to give you the
Oh, yeah,
citizenship
yeah.
after this episode.
For sure.
But without further ado, we're just going to jump right in. This is Libéré here on Lovers Rotation. Welcome back to Lovers Rotation here on CIUT. You guys just heard Crabs in a Bucket by the one and only JUIC3BOY, who we got sitting down with us tonight. So, Crabs in a Bucket, tell us about the journey to that song, because that song really just speaks about sort of having to support yourself and the struggles that sometimes you encounter as an artist, an independent artist, or even an artist in a small city or town where you don't feel like you have all the resources.
Yeah. So, with that, I recorded it in Edmonton just before I came down here. And during that time, I just felt like the city, especially like the industry out there, the creative scene, they're just trying to like box me in. A lot of people knew that I had the talent, the sound, a lot of different style to my music, but it seemed like they were just trying to discredit what I was doing. No one really wanted to give me attention or kind of even just like, yo, like your music is good, like on a personal level, you know. They would see me at events or just on the road, and you can tell there was like tension for some reason. Not for me, because at the end of the day I'm doing it for me and whoever that resonates with it. But for the most part, I just felt like I was in a dark kind of setting at that time when I recorded the track, and I just had to put all my feelings into it, and here we are.
Well, you did it, and you did it well.
Cute.
I was gonna say, like,
Merci beaucoup.
honestly, and even listening to the song makes me feel like, because I think a lot of artists can relate to having ops. Like, that's a very, very ubiquitous experience. So even listening to it, I was like, okay, yeah, this man definitely has had, at least having to deal with people that don't believe in the vision the way you have. So I guess from an internal standpoint, what are some of the things that you had to tell yourself to get to kind of break out of it and push through?
I think especially during the earlier stage for me in my career, I almost took music as a sport, like as a competition. Like I'm trying to be better than, other individuals. Because not because that was like my personal goal, but I just felt like individually that was like the only way I could gain my respect and, kind of get people to, give me credit for what I'm doing and not kind of undermine my talent or my creativity.
Yeah.
So it was just like an era of competition. So you would go to an event, this guy's doing music or this person's doing, whatever thing with the arts. And it's just like someone's waiting for the other person to kind of big them up or they're basing off their respect off of how many followers you have or if you got the blue check or those sort of examples. So for me, I just had to really tell myself that, hey, you're doing this for a purpose. You're not doing this to impress A, B, and C. So just stick to that and don't lose focus on it. And that's what I've been holding on to since then.
I like that. That's a good set of advice for yourself, especially as an artist. And I think that's something like, because you hear echoes of the same sentiments in Toronto. Like ask anybody in Toronto how they feel about the nobody. It's the usual thing, and I think it's a really universal experience, not just as an artist, but like in a lot of the creative fields where you really gotta be your number one supporter and have your own back. But let's talk about where you've been at. What have you been up to? Last time you were here with us, it's been about a year. So let's update our listeners. What's been up with JUIC3BOY recently, outside of just the EP, which we'll get into a bit more detail later on. But how have you been? What's new with you?
I've been so blessed. Like, honestly, it's been quite a journey since you guys last seen me. And luckily, we got to see each other last week just at the EP release party for In My Own Skin. If you haven't listened to it, you're lacking. You gotta download that, share, stream, listen, enjoy In My Own Skin, available everywhere. But yeah, I'm a research assistant at my college. I'm a student. I went back to school, and then also I supply at the school board in Peel. So I've been pretty busy. Aside from music, already planning the next records and projects. So yeah, and life has been good, but sometimes it's like kicking me in the ass some days, but I'm holding strong, and I'm healthy, I'm alive, so yeah, I'm good.
Good. That's to be grateful for. That's good.
Yes,
Because I even like thinking about our interview from last year, you had just moved over to Toronto. So now we can we call you a Torontonian officially?
No.
I mean
Not yet.
hey,
Not yet.
I mean if you want to, I'm not gonna stop you.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey.
You can allow it. But like, I guess, how has it been settling into the city, like getting into the community as an artist or as just like as a person as well? Like, what has that experience been like over the past year for you?
It's been quite an experience. It feels like forever, even though it's been just under a couple of years. But like I've gotten adjusted and accustomed to like and I know it's a big move, but it's not like a move where I would have to like relearn the whole thing of living in Canada and all that. And
That's true.
so
You're not new to this.
I ain't new to this. I ain't new to this, and I feel like I'm a quick learner as well. Especially if I'm really intentional about something. So and I've had like a lot of good people just helping me out regarding anything that I needed. So yeah, it's been a good adjustment, pretty easy going. So yeah, it's been fine for me.
Cool. So circling back to Crabs in a Bucket and the message in that song, and then bringing that back to how you've adjusted to living in Toronto, how do you compare being an artist in Toronto to being an artist in Edmonton with the same sort of opinions and struggles that you reflected in that song? Do you feel like you're in a better environment in Toronto, or do you feel like it's like the grass is always greener?
Yeah, I think it's the latter. The grass can be always greener, and sometimes it doesn't, But for me, I think a lot of the same issues that I experience in Edmonton, I'm experiencing it here as well. Yeah. But I feel more seasoned as an artist, so my approach is different. Right? It doesn't.
It's all about what's in here.
Yeah, it's all about what's within here. Like all the outside noise is gonna come regardless, you know. So it's just how I approach it and how I answer to it. And I feel that now that I'm more experienced. I have a new direction. I know what to do regarding certain situations. It doesn't really bother me or affect me. And I've always said this, even when I moved here. I said Toronto is a stepping stone for me. Like, I don't know if this is gonna be a permanent place, because I'm a pretty nomadic person. Ever since I was a child, I've been moving around, right? So yeah, it the challenges here, they do come, but it doesn't affect me and my approach. Yeah.
Nice. I like that. So you're just staying strong. Just
Keep it
keeping,
pushing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
keeping the same morals and like strength within yourself, and like
Yeah.
wherever you go, you're always gonna have that on your back. So
For sure.
that's a great attitude to have. So tell us, what have you been listening to recently? Let's get into your Spotify library before we get into the next set of tracks.
Hey,
Tell us what's been running through your ears.
honestly, I've been listening to just a lot of different stuff. I don't think there's particular artist or genre that is like really making me feel like, ooh, like I need to play this like every day and night.
Yeah.
I like what I like, and I think this year in music, I don't know if you guys feel this way. It's kind of felt a bit slow for me. Like, it kind of felt slow. Like,
Okay.
nothing's really giving me like,
The
It's not-
vibes
it's not-
like that.
Yeah,
It's not
it's
hitting
not
you.
like, you
Yeah,
know,
it's not
That's
hitting your
fair.
chest.
and it could be the weather. It could be the weather.
Nah,
But,
nah. If an album is that good, it's gonna hit you.
Yeah,
It doesn't
that
matter.
is
It
true.
even
But-
hits even
But
more
okay,
when it's cold.
actually, Friday.
Friday's
new album.
Friday's new album.
I loved his previous album last year. I think, or 2 years ago. For me, that was like album of the year. But yeah, I would say his if I were to pick an album so far this year, it's Friday's.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, Friday's album is really good.
He's fire, man.
And he's
good.
really good. He's kind of shooting to the top. It kind of feels like he has this kind of golden touch when it comes to R&B right
Yeah,
now, and he's kind of running the more. I don't want to put him in like the pop box, but the way that he's sort of blossoming and
Yeah.
rising to the top, he's sort of pushing himself into that super popular area of
Definitely, yeah.
R&B, and then also he merges a lot of Afrobeats and a lot of
Zook.
Zouk. Yeah,
Yep.
he like is he Nigerian?
He is Haitian.
He's Haitian.
yeah.
Okay, I was like, he's something,
Yeah.
something.
But the thing with Haitians too is like they're literally from Africa, right? So they understand, although they're Caribbean, but
We
they
know what
understand, like they understand they understand the sound, the culture, the dynamic when you're creating music, and he really has an ear for sound too. So like I feel like for Friday, it's not a surprise what we're seeing right now in his career.
So, we're gonna jump into the next set of songs. I mean, you chose this next song that we're
I
gonna
chose
start
it.
off with. I'm gonna let you introduce it because you guys, I'm sure you've had enough of my French accent. I'm not gonna keep embarrassing myself here.
All right, so this next song is by Culture or Culture. Chouchou de Nana. He's a French artist, believe Congolese descent. And yeah, he's fire. So yeah, you're gonna enjoy this one.
All right, guys, sit back, relax, and enjoy Chouchou de Nana here on Lover's Rotation. Welcome back to Lover's Rotation. You guys just heard my personal favorite off of JUIC3BOY's EP, Far Away Love. Like, I've been running this track down, and I told you at the premiere, I'm like, listen,
Yeah.
but I told him, when this has its first 1,000 streams, just know I was 900 of them. Like, an amazing song. So tell us about how this song came to life. Because I know if you listen to our show, Noir was on the show closer to like the end of last year. And as soon as I heard it, I'm like, this has Noir all over it. So tell
Yeah.
us about how this song came to life.
Yeah, so this song was like done in like, I'll say like 3 different segments.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't all in 1 month or like 1 week. It was broken up, I would say within a year or 2.
Damn.
Actually, yeah. Because we had the beat. We started it off here with Noir, and there were certain elements that we wanted to add. So then we had one of our friends, Elliot Isaac, Wizard, played some bass on it, and then we thought that, hey, it's getting closer to how we wanted to sound. And then recently we had Ritmo, my boy Bryce, play some strings on it, and then I recorded it when I went to Edmonton recently, and yeah, that's when I felt like, okay, I think now it's complete, and just shared my little story on it.
We did press you. I won't press you today about it,
Hey,
but
no, this is you can. I actually came prepared.
oh, you're ready to talk today.
I'm ready to talk today.
Oh, wait, no, give people some context for people that don't know.
At the release, we spoke about how Far Away Love, if you guys heard the song, paying attention to the lyrics, the song is really about, having to focus on your dreams. And sometimes you have to leave people behind, or sometimes you got to leave that love behind, or sometimes you got to say goodbye, whether it's for a short time or a long time. And I had asked him, I said, who got left in Edmonton?
What's the tea?
What's the story behind the song? Let's get a little personal.
All right. I guess we're going to get a little personal. I don't, I ain't holding anything back. But so prior to me coming to the city, obviously, all of us, sometimes we have our own relationships or situationships or whatever you want to call it.
I've never been in one of those.
That's what they say. That's what they say.
Not you lying.
Everyone has been
to our listeners.
Everyone has been in something, okay? Whatever you want to call it, you've been in something. So yeah, I had my own thing. It was a great bond for, as long as it was going on for. And it was kind of hard for me to tell her that, hey, I know we started something, but it's going to have to come to a pause because I'm coming down here and I want to be able to give you my all, and I can't cheat that if I, move and say, I want to continue this. So, don't think she was really on board with that or understood, the direction that I was trying to go. Because obviously I moved here for my music career, and I think at that time she didn't really understand what I was trying to do with music. And that's not a me thing. I think maybe just that perception, or I'm speaking with a guy that's an artist, and she has the assumption that I'm not serious or I'm not doing well with it, right? And also, obviously, most people prefer to be in a relationship where you're close to the person, and you don't have to kind of do that whole long distance thing, right? So in Far Away Love, I kind of just describe those interactions and moments and how I'm trying to, let her know that, hey, I'm doing this for us so that we can have a better future together, potentially,
It's that asterisk. It's always that asterisk.
Hey, I'm just being honest.
Yeah,
I'm just being
true.
honest because we don't know what tomorrow holds, right?
Yeah, facts.
I could go to Toronto for a couple of months and then she falls in love with someone in Edmonton the next day. That's how life is sometimes.
Hey,
it
happens.
It happens.
It happens.
It happens. So I just really wanted to be real with her. I didn't want to purposely be the villain to her story, even though that is out of my control.
Yep.
But I think everyone that I come across and I want to be in a relationship with, I'm intentional with that. And I want to give them my whole heart, not just half of it. So Far Away Love just describes the long distance relationship that I was having at that moment.
Yeah.
You kept it real, kept it vulnerable the whole time.
Very vulnerable. I gotta be authentic and real with my music. So whoever is listening kind of gets a piece of me when they're listening to my sound.
Yeah. And I think that honestly goes for all the songs on In My Own Skin as well. There's definitely a level of vulnerability and just being honest. You have stories to tell, but they're all authentic to you, which I think is very important, especially what we've seen in the music industry over the past year, with people just inflating
big trouble. If I speak.
Inflating stories and whatnot. But yeah, so that's good to see. Out of curiosity, what do you feel like your favorite track on the EP is at the moment, or has it changed since releasing? And
Honestly, for this project, I don't think I have like a particular favorite song. It's almost like, okay, this is gonna be so. Obviously, I've never had a baby before, but
It's a crazy way to start.
but there's some people that have 8 kids all at once, or 5 kids all at once, or triplets or twins, right? I brought all of these songs at once in a project, and they all have a different meaning to me. And you know, as a loving parent to these songs, I wouldn't choose any over the other because they all mean something different to me, but equally, they are all equally loved. Does that make sense?
It does. No, I see.
Yeah.
We had to get there. We had to get to
We
the
had to
end
get there,
to
bro.
get to the point.
I
I
threw
was
a
a
couple
little
people
scared.
off with the baby analogy, but
yeah.
I hope you kind of get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I understand. And I think similar to that sentiment of like, you know, loving everything equally, I think something that all these songs have in common is that, like you said earlier, you put your whole heart into your music and listening to it, like you can hear that you put your whole heart into it. So compared to other projects you've done or other music you've made, how hard or easy was it to actually like open your heart and be so vulnerable on this project?
Oh, this was definitely probably the hardest because this, not that it was like a make or break, but like I shared a week ago, this was like my reintroduction into this is like my introduction to the Toronto music scene, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I felt that I had to come in hot, come in vulnerable, and just real with what I'm creating and my music. Because there's a lot of people that don't know about me yet, and there's some people that knew about me, but I want to show them the consistency and the growth at the same time, right? So definitely I feel like this project was the toughest one out of, you know, all of them. And I feel like I did a great job. I feel that, you know, everyone that collaborated with me, as for production, engineer, and just the whole rollout of the project has just been successful so far. So I just want to keep pushing it and you know, see where it takes me.
Did you ever have a moment where you were like, or like you sat down to like make a song, or you tried to make a song, you're like, nah, I gotta go deeper, or I'm not going deep enough? Or was it kind of like as soon as you sat down, like it just kept coming out?
Yeah. I think for this project, I definitely felt like that in for many of the songs. Because I actually had a selection of songs that I wanted to put on the project. Initially, there was going to be 10, actually.
Oh, you cut it.
Yeah, so I cut it down a little bit because I also, you know, today, attention span, sometimes, you know, so you have to minimize, you know.
You're right.
But
you're right.
I really wanted to make sure that I was intentional, even with the structure of the project. Like, if you listen clearly, like it's a story overlapping, you know, the other one. And people will get to see that once they see the visuals. Yeah, like it was tough for me just to put it together, but I feel that it came out perfectly, and I don't have any regrets of it now.
Nice. Well, I agree. I think it came out beautifully. I think it's very short and sweet and cute, and in an attention, what do they call it? It's like
Grabbing?
No, like they call it the attention Olympics. I don't know what it is.
Oh, yeah.
But like we're in the attention Olympics right now, and everyone is competing for everyone's attention. And I think that sometimes the cute little short and sweet albums are enough because sometimes it's the quality over the quantity.
Definitely.
And
Always.
we were kind of talking about like the Playboi Carti album, and that album has like 20 something songs.
How long is like
I think it's like almost an hour and a half. It's like an hour and 15, something like that.
Long.
But I know a lot of people were just like, damn. Like, especially older heads were just like, oh my God. Because there's only so much Playboi Carti older generation.
Exactly. Especially in one sitting, because that's the other thing. It's not even just how many songs you if like one thing I really liked about your EP is I can start with like Crabs in a Bucket and sit through the whole thing and not feel like overwhelmed. Like it's a great listening experience.
You know, fun fact, it's exactly 18 minutes and 18 seconds.
Whoa.
I just had to let y'all know.
Attention to
So,
detail.
It's a very intentional body of work.
Why 18?
I don't know. I just,
It was just a happy coincidence.
No, it was a coincidence.
Yeah.
It was when I put the songs up for distribution, I was looking at, how long like the whole project was, and it said 18 minutes and 18 seconds. So I was like,
Okay, we gotta go look up the numerology on
I was
that.
gonna say that has to be some sort of divine I don't know.
Something.
Signal
hey,
of sorts.
it could be. It could be. I
Honestly.
just saw it. I was like, damn, okay, that's very efficient.
I
So
like that.
yeah.
So even more reason to tap in if you haven't already.
Yeah.
Go take a listen.
I know I'm not the interview, but I want to ask you guys a question. You guys feel that, when you're listening
Should
to an
we
album,
switch spots? Like, do you want to?
hey, it's gonna be a short question, but
I'll play.
do you guys feel that like nowadays certain albums, it takes you like 3 business days to finish,
Oh yeah.
I get what you mean.
or is it just me?
I get what you mean.
It takes 3 business weeks for me. I'm not gonna lie. Like depending on the album and depending on the artist. So for an example, what's an album that came out recently that I've really been loving? I don't know.
That would be hard to answer.
There's a lot. There's a lot of albums that I really liked, but there would be albums where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do like the first 4 songs. Okay, then I gotta take my break and I gotta do 2 weeks to sit on that, and then I'll do like my next 5, my next. Sometimes it takes a while to kind of like fully digest an album, and I think it's kind of that attention Olympics that we're kind of in, where it's just like, okay, this is getting my attention, this is getting my attention, this is getting my attention.
Honestly, sometimes I just be forgetting. Like I will listen to the first. If you don't catch my,
I'll
then I'll just forget about you.
Yeah, I think that's the other thing. It's for me, like when I start listening to something, usually there comes a point where it's like, okay, am I engaged enough to keep going, or is there another distraction that's more tantalizing that I can like go into right now? So usually that's kind of what happens, especially with the longer projects. I think if a project is, and it's crazy because I feel like a couple years ago we'd be begging artists to get like 20 songs. And
we used to be like, hey, what happened to the 20-song album?
No.
What happened to the
like
2
more
disc
tracks,
album?
more tracks?
Because some of them disappear for like 4 or 5 years, and then you think they're creating like the best music you've ever heard, and they come back and it's just like, bro, like
what is this?
what was the point? Like, no offense, but and I think that's just one thing that every artist should take into factor, is just being really, really super intentional. Like when I started, I think I still have this trait, and it could be good sometimes and bad, but being a perfectionist. But it's like when you want to give someone a gift, you want to make sure that everything is in order before you give it to them. You don't just give it to them anyhow or present it anyhow.
That makes sense.
So
That's so beautiful.
That's just my POV. I mean,
Okay. Well, it seems like you got a little fire in you right now. So this is the perfect time for us to ask you, what is your hottest music take right now? Before we get into the next set of tracks.
Let's keep it real.
Let's keep it real. Keep it 100.
what is my hottest music take right now? That is a good question.
And it doesn't have to be with like any recent music. It could be anything in general. It could be an opinion.
It could be like artists as well.
Okay, can I do a 2-in-1?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. The recent sampling that's been going on, they need to stop it. They need to stop. And I don't mean as in like to not sample. I sample music, right? But the thing is, when you're sampling a song, you need to, for one, don't just copy the whole original song onto your record. Like, take certain elements, try to like make it a little bit different too, right? And make sure it's sounding right. Make sure it's
getting
crisp.
personal.
No, because it's just like I have the same argument when it comes to movies. I don't want to see a 4th, 5th Lion King.
Yeah, like, Shrek 5, guys.
Yeah, I don't want to see a new Shrek. I don't want to see a new Shrek. I don't want to see a new original or like a new movie of a classic. Right. Like, it's not necessary, right? So that's the same approach that I have. If you're gonna sample a classic, especially a classic song, if you're gonna sample like something nobody heard of, okay, it's gonna be a
Fine.
bit fresh,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But if you're gonna sample a song that's a classic, make sure you do it well.
I
Just
agree.
like
Yeah.
make sure you do it well.
That's a valid
You know?
hot take, honestly, and I
valid.
agree.
I,
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I give you that.
We can stamp approval on that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
stamp that approval. Yeah, no,
Thank
you
you.
got that. You got that. I agree.
So I said 2 in 1, right?
Yeah.
Guys, I'm hot. I'm
Let's hear
I don't-
it.
It's very angering me, and I don't know how to. I really feel like. I really feel like within the last couple of years, Afrobeats is not doing it right now.
Oh.
It's not that it's not. That's a, I feel like we are conforming to what other people want from us as
Facts.
Africans.
I agree.
Like
Okay.
we're not going back to the basics of our sound. We're not keeping that originality. And I'm all for progression. I'm all for, promotion and, leveling up. But I feel that if we're not careful within the next 5, might be even sooner, we're just going to be pop. We're just going to be pop music. They'll literally call us African pop music.
That is a very valid
Afro
critique.
And
I
it
actually see
scares
where
me
you're going,
sometimes.
yeah.
Like,
What are some examples
Name drop.
that you can think of?
all love to Ashake, but the few last singles,
Why love, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is very valid.
That one didn't touch me the
It
way
didn't
it
touch
usually
me, like-
does. It wasn't like Mr. Money with the vibe type.
Exactly.
No.
And I get what you're saying too, because I think, especially with Ashake's case, the reason why he popped off in the first place was because of how like authentically
Authentic
Nigerian, like
Nigerian,
it was like
Yoruba.
Lagos grungy sounds,
Yeah.
like very, very much so. Versus like the most recent singles have been very much like poppy, almost like some like electric vibes to them. Some of them,
and it's very microwavable. You can tell it's like an industry pushed record. Like Ashake didn't wake up one day and said, "Okay, let me make this,"
Right.
and put it
Yeah.
out there. And if we look at his last album, Longu Boy, right? The record that I felt I was surprised that didn't get the push was Fuji Vibe.
yeah,
That one is like the one of the heavy
And
hitters for
and
me,
you see
though.
how long the list
That's
is, and
so
it's at the
true.
bottom there. Like,
That's so true.
Yeah.
what if somebody doesn't have that attention? They're not even gonna discover Fuji Vibe, and
Exactly.
it was one of the best songs on the album. So
Agreed.
Yeah.
it's paining me.
Go back to your roots,
me.
okay? Just voice it first.
You got to, and that's why, like, for me and my brother Noir will say the same thing. Like, with our music, there's always that representation. It may not necessarily have that full Afrobeats sort of vibe or kind of direction, but that it's at the base for sure when you're listening to it. So even when we sample, we take some of those elements, we bring it back to the basics, like even the 5 beat sound, like
Right.
Pan Logo and all those sort of elements from Afrobeats and High Life. We make sure we put that in because that's us. But I don't know, maybe there's because they're seeing the money that I'm not seeing, and they're just but I just really feel that's my second take with what's been going on in the industry as for African music and
Yeah.
industry.
No, I actually agree. And I think, at least from my perspective, when I think about what has changed, I think Afrobeats went from making music for Africans, like very FUBU vibes, for us, by us. And now what's happening is because the scope has widened so much, it's like, okay, now we're not just making music for just Africans to consume. Not that we only listen to a certain kind of music. There's so many different lanes you can do. But I think it starts to get watered down and westernized when you're trying to market it into there. There's been that like trying to break out in America.
Yep.
Like let me break out in America type of energy. So
Yeah.
I think that's
And-
where you have that.
And for me, I'm all for it. Like, I do want them to be able to transition and come into the American industry because that's the biggest industry, right?
That's where
one
the
of the
money's
biggest
at.
industry, right? So once you are able to cross that border and have your sound there, you know, like the opportunities are endless, but do not forget your roots, right? Not that you owe anybody anything, right? This is just my take, but I just feel like, you know, a lot of our, you know, African musicians have lost that, and a lot of the older ones, they stood true to that, like Yusuf N'Dour, Angelique Kidjo, like, and they're still, you know, being nominated for like
Like
Grammys,
Grammys.
right?
Right.
So why can't like our generation, you know, continue that and stay true to, you know, who they are?
Because they're in LA chasing
I was just
chasing
gonna say it's
baddies.
the LA money.
They're in LA chasing baddies. Like, you know what? Yeah,
All shade.
I hope that a lot of artists sort of continue to go back to their roots. Like you have Rema who made He Is, and he said on stage, he was like, "Listen, like I know I made like the
Shout
calm
out
down."
to Rema.
Yeah, shout out.
Holding it
Shout
down.
Shout out to Rema. Man.
He's like, you know, I made the calm downs, I made the this, I made the that, but I want to make something for us. And look at how much that blew up.
Exactly.
It blew up because we enjoyed it, and it's good music. And so I feel like, yeah, as long as we continue to remember who we're doing this for and why we're doing this, I think it's always good to experiment. But you know, the artists, there's always going to be artists that are going to jump to the other side or going to stay on the other side.
Yeah.
I guess Ashake wants to, he's going to be on the other side, but I'm hopeful that maybe his music, even Burna Boy, I kind of,
You know what's great? I love that you brought that up because he's in that sort of
Sampling bucket. You were.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
knew it
Oh
when
my
you
God.
mentioned that.
And
Take,
I
I was
love-
like,
every day it's a new sample because of, what was it? My Io.
yeah.
Was it? How did I forget?
Last.
Okay,
Yeah.
because he did
And
the Tony
sampled,
Braxton
Tony
sample,
Braxton, yeah.
and then after that he on Top of the World he did the Brandy sample when he
Yeah.
did the song with 21
Sitting
Savage.
on
So
top of- I
it's like
didn't-
this
yeah.
formula,
Yeah.
and I guess it's like the labels are like, okay, this is what people want to hear when the
Yeah.
Africans get on the track, and
Let's
I'm like,
keep it
let's stop
going.
with the formulas
Right.
and the
Yeah.
formulas.
And
Let's
and he's
just
been sampling like even before those hits. Like
yeah.
Burna's been sampling what I just feel like the last few records. And I love Burna. Like he's one
Yeah.
of my inspirations, you know, regarding music. But I just feel like a lot of them, you could tell like that hunger and that drive is kind of like going away.
yeah,
And
plateau.
you know, they do say money does change people. So I don't know if it's that particularly,
Yeah.
but you can
definitely-
tell when you're listening.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a combination of different things, but that's why we're lucky to have people like you, Juice Boy, making music that's authentic to your roots. You know that you know your
I'm
audience,
trying.
you're intentional, and then there's also purpose behind that. I think that resonates more than anything because, like we're all discussing now, you can definitely tell when that's missing in the
Yeah.
track.
Yeah.
You can hear it. So you know,
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Well, on that note, we're gonna give you guys a taste of some real African boy, real African.
Yo,
Just playing.
real
But
African.
we're gonna get into problems. So tell us a little bit about problems, a little taste before we jump right into the track.
So, for those of you who have listened to the EP, my new EP, In My Own Skin, available everywhere. Yeah, Problem is like almost like the climax of me going crazy because I was just going through too much of the same sort of situations repeating itself again and again. And like I had enough of it and I was trying to find a way out of these situations, these problems. And yeah, it was really making me lose a bit of hope regarding not just you know like romantic relationships, but even platonic ones, right? Because like different messages are being sent. Even for myself, I felt for a long time I was misunderstood, you know, from whoever that I was, you know, with. And yeah, it just put me in a dark place where I was just like, yo, how do I get out of this? Or do I try to get out of this? Like, do I, you know, snap? Do I, you know, remain calm? I really didn't know what to do. And luckily I have a brotherhood and, you know, sisterhood of people that helped me out. And, you know, they kind of supported me and I found a way to get through these problems. So yeah, it was a tough situation that I was in.
Okay. Well, on that note, we're going to give you guys a little taste of that situation. And this is Problems here on Lovers Rotation. Welcome back to Lovers Rotation. You guys just heard Oyo Nini by Ryan De La Cruz, picked by the one and only JUIC3BOY. Why'd you choose that song for us tonight?
So speaking of sampling, I was on TikTok, I think one day, and I found this Congolese sample from I think it was like a Congolese rumba, something like that. And I was like, yo. I shared it to Noir because obviously he's Congolese, and I was like, yo, this shit's fire. Like, this is good. And the one thing with some artists, they tease a song for like, I used to do this at least, but he had a release date of January 17th. January 17th came. The song's not released.
Oh no.
Next week, the song's not released.
TikTok, they be doing that though.
Yeah.
They do that. It must be a tactic.
Yeah, then I figured out it's because he was shooting a video for it in Nigeria. Oh. And I guess like, you know how the technical stuff is. Like, yeah. So then when it came out, I was like, okay, this was worth the wait. I really liked it. Played all the time at the gym, Okay. Guess we, vibing. And yeah, it's a really good song. So that's why I chose Oyo Nini by Ryan De La Cruz.
So you're not new to this, and you know that for our last segment of the show, we usually do a little vent session for you. I know you've been venting.
You're popping off already.
I've been, going off. I've been wilding a bit. But,
no, you haven't been wilding. Yeah. But let's get a little bit deeper, a little bit more vulnerable. So what's been on your mind recently? What's been on your heart? What are your thoughts? Whether it's about just coming off the release of this EP and the love you've been getting, or whether it's about, something that you're looking forward to, anything in general. What's been on your mind or your heart?
Honestly, I don't know if y'all could relate, but obviously being away from my family, it feels like life is like, or like life on the other side is like going on without me. I don't know if that makes sense.
Disconnect. There's a disconnect.
The day of my EP, my nephew came into the world. And I called my sister, and she told me, she's like, oh, your nephew's here. Because I was like, why you sound sick? Like, you good, fam? Like, she's like, your nephew's here. And I was like,
wow.
I was so happy. And it was the day before we were getting ready for the EP release party too. So I was already stressed and, trying to get everything in order. But luckily it was the same day that the project came out. So it just kind of gave me more excitement and something to be happy about. But my dad is in Ghana. He's been there for almost 6 months. I haven't seen him for a while.
He's living life.
He's living life. He's retired and everything. He's living life.
He's living.
My mom's still back home in Edmonton. So it's like a lot of things are going on. And I feel like it's happening without me. But I'm still happy. But sometimes I kind of get like, damn, what's next? Or like, I also want to be a part of it. Although I am a part of it from a distance, it doesn't really feel the same. So I just been kind of like, reflecting on these things. And, as I'm building my life out here, I just, I want to make sure that everything's in alignment so that whatever comes for me next, like I'm ready for. Yeah. So, yeah, that's kind of the phase I'm in right now. It's kind of like, it's kind of weird, but
not weird at all.
Yeah.
I think that makes complete sense. So what would you say, what's next for you? I know you just dropped the EP. It's crazy to say what's next after you just put your all into such a big project. But looking ahead, what are some of the goals you see even like in the stretch after this release? Like what do you see the rest of your year panning out as?
Like always, definitely, making music. One thing that I'm big on is consistency, and I love to see the growth that I'm, producing. So yeah, definitely I'm working on the next project as we speak right now.
Already cooking.
Yeah. And summer is coming.
Yes.
So hey,
About to be
I
outside.
want my people, outside ready for the sound that will take over their summer. So
Okay.
trying to put that together so that by the time summer is out and the weather is nice, you guys won't be cold anymore. You'll be sweating. Yeah. Yeah, and hopefully some new collaborations. With some people out here. Don't want to mention names, but yeah, like just obviously pushing in my own skin because there's still a lot more to tell from that story, and yeah, just being consistent, like I said, and looking for opportunities when they find me and when I find it.
Nice.
Okay.
That's beautiful.
Honestly. Do you feel like there's any shows in your near future, or I guess
Yeah.
performances maybe as well?
Yeah,
for the
definitely,
project?
definitely. I'm a very big live band guy, so
That would be beautiful.
I do want to do something
Yeah.
something special.
Hey.
Oh.
Hey.
If you get it, you get it. If you don't get it, forget about it. But yeah, I definitely want to do something like a live band, kind of like a orchestra or like just a live experience of the songs, right? Whether that be in a show or whether that just be, some sort of event or whatever it is. I want to do that with my music. I don't know if it's gonna be particularly within my own skin, but definitely with some songs that I've put together. And you talked about shows. I actually want to get into shows in general with sync licensing. So having songs on different TV shows like Netflix or whatever.
Yeah.
And then
that's a good
your boy out here acting on some shows too. So
Oh,
hopefully
okay.
I get some opportunines on that as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Jack of all trades, master of all.
Hey,
So
gotta
it's
have
given.
it. Gotta have it. Gotta have it.
I love that. Well,
Thank you.
thank you so much, Juice, for coming on the show. We're
Thank
always
you
happy
for
to have you.
having
It was a
me.
great time. Great time as
Always
always.
is.
Always.
Such amazing, genuine energy, so much talent in one person.
Appreciate
And
that.
so thank you for sitting down with us. Where can our audience find you if they want to connect with you?
So you guys can find me on Spotify, JUIC3BOY, JUIC3BOY, Apple Music, same thing. All music platforms. On Instagram, you can find me at I am JUICBOY. So I am JUIC3BOY. And on Twitter, JUICBOY. So JUIC3BOY.
Period.
Nice. Thank you guys so much for spending your Tuesday evenings with us. As you know, as always, all of our episodes are mixed by the one and only Des Sound. Make sure you guys go show her some love on Instagram at des.sound. And all of our episodes, our videos, are directed and edited by Dapper. Make sure you guys go show him some love. His Instagram is at Dapper_TL. And if you want to connect with the show, you want to check out the song list, or you want to run back our old episodes, take a look at some of our clips, our Instagram is at lovers.rotation. And if you want to talk anything, song requests, guest requests, or anything in between, our email is loversrotation@ciut.fm. And on that note, we're going to jump into the last song of the night. We're doing My Testimony by JUICBOY, which is also the last song of the EP. Why My Testimony as the closer?
Yeah, so my testimony is a gratitude and heartfelt letter to my Lord and Savior, Jesus. And just kind of summarizing everything that I went through, the good, bad, and the ugly. I just felt like that song was necessary so that people can kind of see another piece of me that they don't know. And yeah, and production wise, it was actually done by my friend Dami Ogun from London, who is also a drummer for Nisi. And,
Who he says Burna Boy's
sister. Yeah. He's been a great friend to me over the last, like, since the pandemic, I think. Yeah, we
damn.
came across each other online. And yeah, like, I've seen his growth even when he was just drumming at gigs, or whether it was just at church or, at events. And then he got onto a Spaceship, the record, and he's drumming now for Nisi, and, doing a lot of great things, not just within music, but outside of music in London. And, yeah, he's a brother to me. So when he made this production for me, I was very grateful, and we got some stuff, coming up as well.
Nice.
It's always cooking.
And I believe soon I'll get the chance to go to London, and we'll be able to meet. And yeah, so this song is extra personal, not just for that reason, but also for the person that made this production for me and helped me put this song together. So yeah, that's why I felt like that was the song to kind of cap off In My Own Skin.
Okay. Beautiful. I'm going to let you guys hear the rest of my testimony for yourself. As always, make sure to stay connected, stay safe, and smile. Have a great night.
Peace.